Hello and welcome back to another episode of
Tube
Talk
with your host,
Sophie Bosma and Albert Bosma,
the interviewee, Albert Bosma,
the interviewee.
on a very cold and stormy midwinter day.
Indeed. We will start off with how our week went last week.
I'd like to talk about last week.
Good.
A number of things to discuss.
Awesome. Well, all of the horses who ran well, but there were no wins.
Yeah, we ran very, very well. Some really good performances without quite getting over the line. But every horse ran between second and fifth.
Impressive. So, we will start off with Thorn Pass, who ran second.
A really good return to form for him. The change of tactics made a difference. We rode him forward, and I think mentally it got him into the race a bit more. But he also may well have needed his first two runs back, as he's a bit older now and needs that fitness. He's a big horse, so it was a really good run. Really pleased to see him find form. And he'll go forward to rating 75-1800 metres at Pukakura Raceway next Saturday, where he's never raced before. It's a horses for courses track. With 25 grand, so looking forward to that.
Cool as. We also had Elusive Boxes, who ran third.
Yeah, so going back a day, I should actually say North and South was scratched.
I was going to come back to
on
that at the
Saturday.
end, but yes.
Yeah, she was scratched. She came up with a stone bruise, and so we had to scratch her on the morning of the race, which was a bit frustrating. But she's all good back now, and she's heading to the Okaneki Cup next Saturday. So yes, the day before Friday, Elusive Boxes in Formia ran very well again in the worst part of the track. Sort of settled midfield, made ground all the way up the straight. Was beaten less than a length. Really good run. She is on the verge of winning, and will go to Oamaru on the 23rd for a rating 75-1400 metres, which will suit her. I think if she'd drawn maybe barrier 5 and could have got out a little bit, she could have won the race.
There you go. We also had Zanotti, who ran an unlucky fourth.
Yeah, a good return to form for her. She's obviously needed her runs back in. I thought she was actually going to win about halfway down the straight, but a horse inside just kept moving out, taking a line, and on a heavy track, it's really hard to change line and maintain momentum. So she was fourth, and we actually looked at protesting, but decided against it. And she also going to Oamaru on the 23rd, which is a meeting we're targeting. It's a good prize money meeting. We're targeting that, and we should have a number of chances there,
cool,
including her.
Awesome. And we had, on Wednesday, we had 3 runners. We had Bautista, who ran third.
Really good run, very promising filly, 3-year-old filly out of the Zabeel mare. It's her first campaign. She's a stayer. We've known she's a stayer, and every start she's improved. She ran third. She got a nice run in transit. She attacked the first 2, but just couldn't quite get past them. They're older, seasoned horses. She's a 3-year-old filly, and that was just the difference. She'll probably go for a little let up now and come back in September, but she's a horse that we think will turn into a pretty handy stayer.
There you go. And we had Thread the Needle, who ran fifth.
Yeah, another good run. She's a horse that every time she steps onto a racetrack, whether it be a trial or a race, she gets better. And whatever she does this preparation, she'll be twice as good next preparation. So, unfortunately, she got hung out to dry a little bit. She was out wide on the track, 3 then 4 wide, had to cover a lot of ground. She made a big run from the 600 metres to the 300 metres to put herself in a challenging position, but just ran out of puff the last bit for 5th. But she's going ahead all the time. She's showing she's tough. She'll go to Matamata on the 26th in 2 weeks' time, and she'll be a genuine winning chance. But as I say, whatever she does this prep, next prep, she'll be twice as good. She's got a good future.
Cool. We had Elward, who ran fifth.
Very, very exciting. This is our horse.
Imported from France.
Yeah. So he had 7 starts in France, and we looked to stay of promise, and we bought him as a 3-year-old. So he ran at Sandown on Wednesday with 1400 metres. He's never run that short a distance in his life. And he was very unlucky. He was back last, could not get a run in the straight, tried 3 or 4 times to find a gap, couldn't. In his last 150 metres, he was flying, and he finally got a gap. And if he got out in the first half of the straight, he would have won. So for a horse to stay to show that turn of foot means that when he steps up over ground, he could be devastating. He could have an absolutely devastating turn of foot. He could be very, very good. So we're really excited about him. He looks to have come through the race well. His form in the Northern Hemisphere is on good tracks, and that was a soft track yesterday, so he's obviously going to perform on those on good and soft surfaces. So he will race next, probably, not definitely, but probably on the 26th of July, over 1800 metres at Sandown. We'd prefer to go a mile, but there's no mile races until Flemington on the 5th. So we'll just wait and see, but we're inclined to go 1800 at Sandown on the 26th.
Cool. And this week we have 3 runners, but one has been scratched and one also will probably be scratched in the near future.
I'd better lower that finger next.
Yes. Good thinking.
Yes.
We will start off with the horse that is not being scratched, which is...
No, I think we should start with the ones that are being scratched.
Okay, we'll start off with the one that is definitely 100% scratched, which is She's Graceful, who is going to run on Friday at Timaru.
Yeah, she's down to her last chance and she needs to show us something. She has shown us ability in the past, but Friday at Timaru she'd drawn barrier 17, which is over 1200 metres. It wouldn't have been fair to run her on what's going to be a very heavy track. So she'll be reserved and she'll either race at Oamaru on the 23rd, next Sunday over 1400, or the following week over 1200 at Timaru again.
Cool. Awesome.
And in this,
Sorry, you...
I was just saying the same race on Friday at Timaru, race 2, we've got Frazzle. She's almost certain to be scratched. She's Graceful will do 17, Frazzle will do 16. It's her first run for Andrew Carsten in the South Island. And while we think she's probably ready to win first up, on a very heavy track from that barrier draw makes it very tough. And I think pull pin and we'll wait for Timaru on the 28th, where she will be a winning chance.
Cool.
Hopefully we get a better draw. Got to get a better draw surely than 16.
And the one that is definitely running is Holy Grail, who is running in Singapore on Sunday.
Last start winner, Holy Grail, was very impressive in Singapore, breaking his maiden. He steps up in distance to 1800 metres. He's got barrier 1 again. It's only a 9-horse field. He drops significantly in weight, down to 51.5 kilos. Big weight drop. Vlad Jurek is suspended, but he couldn't have made the weight anyway. So we've got Derek David, a South African, riding him, who is top 10 in the Premiership in Singapore. Probably, well, the big issue for him is he's jumping up in grade significantly. So while he's getting the weight relief, he's coming up against horses that have been racing in Class 4 and Class 3. So their horses have been racing much higher grades than him, and he's coming up to their level. So they've got to carry a bit more weight than him. But it'll be a good test. He's a horse that needs to find his feet early, so we may not be able to use the barrier 1 to the best of our ability, but he's got a very good finish. His track work's been excellent. His gallop on Saturday was the best of his preparation so far, and it's a good test for him, but he's a genuine chance. I'm looking forward to seeing him run.
And now we're on to Bet of the Week. Last week, no, hold up, wait. I'm just getting excited. We have to quickly say, last week our Bet of the Week came last, but there is some reasoning behind it.
Oh, absolutely. No, we need to spend a few seconds on this. So Kermit was our Bet of the Week. He jumped, got on the trail, and his saddle slipped. So the jockey had no control. She was up over his shoulders and had no control. From that point on, he had no chance, and he ran last. But he only ran last because the saddle slipped early in the race, and she just couldn't control him. So while we lost our money, he's a horse that I think next start we should get back on. And because he's run last, we notice that knew his saddle slip, but other people might not. So he might go out to like 30-1.
There you go.
And we might be able to get a bit of money. So I think he's one for us to keep a check on in the back of our minds and just keep him there, and we'll have another bet on him.
Cool. And now you can get excited. Bet of the Week is...
Well, it's a different Bet of the Week, isn't it?
This week it's Quinella. And it's going to be at Trentham in race 6. And for first we have here...
The Wellington Steeplechase.
Yes. First we've got here Just Ishi, and second is the Oyster Man.
So it's a Wellington steeplechase. Just Ishi is just jumping brilliantly. He is jumping brilliantly, and he absolutely gave him a shellacking last start. And he's just in one of those zones where it's very hard to see him being beaten. And he's probably going to be a short-priced favourite, $2 or $2.50 for a steeplechase. However, the Oyster Man's a really interesting horse. The Oyster Man has been a maiden all his life, but 2 years ago he ran second in the Wellington Steeples. Last year he ran third in the Wellington Steeples, and he finally broke his maiden 2 starts ago over jumps, steeples, at Wellington. He always races really well in Wellington. In fact, I don't think he's finished out of the first 4 in his life there. And he just loves the figure 8 there, and he gets on the speed, and he jumps, and he's nifty around the corners, and he really likes it, and he saves his best performances for Trentham. And I think he could be double figures. I don't know if he can beat Just Ishi, but he's certainly a chance to. So we could go Just Ishi, Oysterman, Field, trifecta, and we could probably go Oysterman, Just Ishi, Field for half of that, and Quinella. So that's the 2. Just Ishi to win, the Oysterman, the big danger, and value, and a value bet.
There we go.
And we shall see how we go
We shall see next week
on.
Tube Talk.
Thanks, Sophie.
See you, Dad.